Okay, guys, so I want to share with you a strategy, technique on how to break phone addiction. It's really one of the ways of creating digital minimalism, which is important for me in my life. And so I am a person who loves technology, admittedly, happily. I've got loads of smart home tech, Alexas and cameras and lights that go on and off and do all sorts of shit that annoys my wife. Um, I love my iPhone, love my laptop, I love my Apple Watch. I'm into tech. And I'm very conscious of and I acknowledge the impact that it can have on my mind and my psychology. All of it in different ways, but the phone itself, the phone, exponentially more addictive and negatively impactful on my consciousness, my presence, my awareness than everything else combined. And so, one of the things that I make a point to do is to be intentional with my relationship to my phone. It creates so much more presence and awareness when I'm not addicted to my phone. So I have a better quality of life, I have a better relationship with my kids, I'm more effective in my work when I'm not addicted to my phone. And so the extremist idea, if the phone's addictive, is to just not have a phone. And then so everybody's like, yeah, I'm not going to not have a phone. And so they just swing back and they just live in this addictive place because they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. I can either not have a phone or I can have it and be addicted to it. But the thing is that you can have something in your life and not be addicted to it. Like, for example, caffeine. I have caffeine every morning. Lately, I have half calf every morning. I mix the beans, half caffeinated, half decaf, and that's it. I have one a day. If I sometimes start having just caffeine and then maybe two a day, and then suddenly I need it every day. But if you keep the dosage low enough, you don't become chemically addicted to it. Your body's not deprived of some other chemical that it would be naturally producing, and then you don't crave it on a biological level. It's just more of a habit. So the habit's not an addiction. An addiction is a compulsion. I can't not pick up the phone. I can't not have caffeine. It's not healthy when we're compelled in that way, and we're not okay without it. That's when it becomes problematic. But having the habit of using something, it can be healthy. And so I want to have a healthy habit of using my phone, engaging in technology and using it in all the ways that are productive and that I enjoy. But I don't want it to be compulsive. I don't want it to be distracting me from presence with my wife and my kids. And so I want to find this middle ground. So how do I do that? Well, I noticed that in times where I've gone away for a 3-day weekend and do a solo retreat, sometimes I'll do that. I'll just say to my wife, I get to take off for a few days. I'll get an Airbnb in the desert and I'll just go by myself. I'll leave my phone at home. Or I'll go to the Krishnamurti Foundation up in Ojai, California, just get a room there and just sit and read and journal and meditate for a few days. And I come back and my presence is so profound. Like, I feel it, people around me feel it. I'm just a different person, my quality of my attention. But what I realized after recently doing something I'm going to share with you in a second, actually I'll show you this right now and then I'll continue the story. So this is the thing that I bought that essentially, instead of going on retreat myself, I send my phone on retreat. So this is a cool little thing called a kSafe. So you set a timer here. I'll set it for 2 minutes. Then you push that in. And then in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it counts down. Gives you 5 seconds to abort. And then, you hear that? It just locked. And now you can't open it. So my phone would be in here. And I lock it. And you can put it up to hours, days. And so I got this, and I put my phone in it, and I locked it, and I sent my phone on retreat for 3 days, quote unquote. It's in my office, but in this box, and I can't get it out. So I was still home doing all the things I normally do, but what I found at the end of that period, at that point I wasn't thinking about it as my phone on retreat, but after, when the phone came out on a Monday morning, and I realized, wow, my presence, my attention, my awareness, the quality of my being has improved very similarly to when I went away on retreat for 3 days. So maybe it's not being in the desert by myself. Maybe it's just not having my phone. Maybe that's a big part of it. Wow. And so that's when I got the idea that instead of going on retreat, I could send my phone on retreat in this little plastic safe right here. And then you might think to yourself, well, if it just comes back again and you get addicted to it again, then is it really working? You know? And that's an idea that I don't think is useful. The idea that you should either stay as somebody who doesn't compulsively need the phone, or you should stay as nothing sticks. Life is about cycles. And if you welcome the idea that this thing called the phone, it's addictive, And as time passes, without awareness and presence, you might start to use it more and more, and it might become compulsive. And at that point, you know it's time to go on retreat. Then you send the phone on retreat, and then you relax and you become more present again, and you can be more intentional with your use of it. And over time, there's a half-life to that presence and awareness, and it's addictive, and it pulls you back in. And when you notice it, you send it on retreat again. And what happens is you just create cycles. And so there's nothing wrong with that. What if, just like the seasons, like life is cyclic, right? We have winter and we have summer and we have spring and fall in the middle. It's like we just move in these cycles. So I happily move in cycles of being caffeinated and moving into decaf. Bump up against it. You hear it? It just opened. 2 minutes. Boom. Now I can get my phone out. Yay. So live with cycles. Move towards the edge of where it starts to become a compulsion, and then take a break. And then the other thing is, once you get used to that, it's like, okay, once a month I'll send my phone away for 3 days, or once a week. And then, you know what? I can actually shorten the cycle length. And so now I don't do that often, but oftentimes in the afternoon at 5 o'clock I finish my work. I don't really need my phone. I just put it in here, and it's locked until the morning. And so the evenings with my wife and my son are more present. The quality is better. And it's the same kind of idea, but I send it on a mini retreat within a shorter cycle. And you could shorten the cycles as much as you want, but what that does is it helps to maintain that presence and that awareness and that relationship. And you may not need a safe. To be honest, I ordered this online, and I was so excited about getting it that I just found a Tupperware container in my kitchen the first time, and I just put it in the Tupperware container and put the cover on, and it was as if I just pretended as if it was locked. But I do like having this now because I've used it again, and it's like I've wanted to get the phone out, and it's like, is it really worth $60 to smash this thing? 'Cause that's how much it cost. Nah, forget. I don't really need it. And so there's a philosophy, there's a concept here, and then there's a physical solution. The concept is break your phone addiction by welcoming cycles of fasting and engagement, right? And not judging yourself becoming addicted again. How about, no, I cycle. As I start feeling it moving it towards compulsion, I take a break. I take time away. And after I've developed that presence and I can use my phone more intentionally, I engage with it again. And you play with the lengths of fast and the lengths of engagement and shorten the cycles between the two. And as a solution, as a possibility, either get some Tupperware if you can, lock it away. But I find this really fun. It's almost like you're setting a time bomb. So kSafe, I'll put a link in the description below. If you found this useful, check out the rest of my minimalism videos. There's a playlist link somewhere around here. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks, guys. Much love. Bye.